Welcome to the daily COVID-19 update with Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony. We begin with an update on booster doses across the regions.
So far, we have been able to administer 48,669 booster doses. And in Region 1, we would have given out 977 doses. Region 2, 2,342 doses. Region 3, 6,842 doses. Region 4, 24,344 doses. Region 5, 3,018 doses. Region 6, 8,028 doses. Region 7, 481 doses. Region 8, 399 doses. Region 9, 1,755 doses. And Region 10, 483 doses. So from the doses that have been administered, you can see that in Regions 1, 7, 8, and 10, they are below 1,000 doses that have been given. I think there's a lot of room for improvement in these regions. Certainly they can get past that 1,000, but we have to encourage more and more people to come in. And generally the booster doses, the rates have been quite low. Some of these regions, they're very problematic. I think there's a lot of hesitancy. And unfortunately, there are also persons within these regions who are actively working against vaccines. These are anti-vaxxers. They don't believe in the benefits of vaccines, and they have been constantly undermining the message from the Ministry of Health and other important health authorities. So they might have an audience. They peddle a lot of misinformation, and that is what people listen to. And therefore, when they listen to these things, it can have a detrimental effect on their health, because if they don't get vaccinated, they can then get sick and end up coming to the hospital, and in some cases even dying. We have seen that it's not in the whole region. There are pockets in the region. So in places like Region 8 and so forth, there are specific communities, and that is because some of the leaders in the community, it might be a mixture of the Tushao, or sometimes in other cases you might have religious leaders who are peddling this type of misinformation. So they are not doing their community a good service. They're actually putting their community at risk. And we will really want to encourage them to desist from doing this. Most of them, I would say the majority of them, they are not even competent to speak on these matters. They have no health background. They don't even understand how a vaccine works. But they spread misinformation. And because they have an audience in these villages, people tend to believe them. The COVID-19 vaccines, a number of them require special conditions. So if we're using, for example, Pfizer vaccines, which we're now using quite a lot, first of all, the storage would require minus 80 degrees. We have a set of freezers that we can store these vaccines adequately at that temperature. But then we can move it from minus 80 to minus 20 and ultimately keep it at minus 20 and then administer it. Now, when we move it down from 80 to 20, we can't refreeze it. So it's a one-way process. So once we bring it out from the minus 80, we put it in minus 20, then we move it down, and we're able to administer it at room temperature. But once we start doing that, there's no going back. You can't refreeze it. And that's why when we take it out into the community, if there's a community of 100 people, we are anticipating, let's say, 50 vaccinations, then when you go there, and if the people are not going to take the vaccines for whatever reason, then we either have to go to another place and give it, if, or if not, a lot of those vaccines would have to be discarded. So we are very cautious. We want to make sure that we have some level of certainty about the community's response before we defrost these vaccines and take them in. And a lot of time we cannot get any definitive answer. In some cases we have gone to communities and community of 300, and after spending almost a day there, you probably get 4 or 5 people coming forward. We are now at 430,438 doses. So 430,438 doses. That's about 83.9% of the adult population receiving a first dose. Second dose, it's about 324,981 doses. That's 63.4% of the adult population. In terms of the 12 to 17 age group, first dose is 33,350. That's about 45.7% of the population, and second dose is now 23,976, or 32.9% of that population.
You have been watching today's COVID-19 update. For more information, log on to the Ministry of Health's website at health.gov.gy and DPI's website dpi.gov.gy and our social media platforms.